Yeah, I just didn't know if that was like gonna be like a stupid question, but
I would also ask, what's the likelihood of the deal not going through?
perfect, yeah.
Because
Because yeah,
having a backup contract doesn't guarantee that you're going to have opportunity. Maybe it's like 99% closed.
okay, sweet, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ty, what was it about that house that they loved?
Honestly, it fit everything. It was in their price range really well. It had a pool, and the house was just like they really liked the house. Like it fit a lot of stuff, but
Is,
it's just like it was just like a like it was just that one house that fit every single thing they had. They just waited just a couple days too long, and it went under contract.
so is it the certain neighborhood or the
Dude,
house?
it's like literally it's a little bit of everything. Like it's legitimately a little bit of everything. Like there's a pool that's got I think it's 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. That's exactly what they were looking for. They're looking for at least 3 bedrooms or 4 bedrooms and at least 2 baths. And then the neighborhood, it's they wanted to stay in the Flowing Wells area and for school, and it's in the Flowing Wells School District. It's right next to the wife's sister's house, and it's not far from where the husband works at all. And it's just like literally like it's like legitimately a little bit of every single thing that they wanted.
So my point is, if because it's in a neighborhood, more than likely they got that same type of model in that house or in that neighborhood. Go door knocking with a contract showing that you have a potential buyer or a buyer that really wants to be in this neighborhood, and you'll probably get a listing and be able to do the buyer.
That's a good idea. Sweet, thank you. I didn't think of that. Thank you.
Welcome.
You're on the call today, guys, and he's doing good.
I will also say that when a client misses a home like that they just didn't act on quickly enough,
Right,
just
right,
make sure you stay on your toes because now they're super motivated and now they
right.
are not going to let that happen again.
Exactly, and that's what I've told them from the houses that we've been coming up to. Like I've showed them a few houses, like this last one that we went yesterday. So they really liked the house that I showed them yesterday, but they told me they were like, see what the house that's under contract, see what they say, and then we'll like if it's like if we can't take that house, if we can't get that one, then like we might consider this one. I was like, okay, I was like, I'm 100% willing to do that, but I was like, I just want you guys to know, like I don't want to be like if this house goes under contract, I don't want to be blamed for this, like for not like rushing you guys. So I was like, it's completely your choice. I'll do whatever you guys want me to do. But I was like, I don't want to be blamed if we miss this house also. And so made that clear to them, but they're just they really, really want that house. And I mean it's a great deal. It's like a whole $20,000 less than what the houses that they're looking for right now too. So it's definitely got some perks.
I like it. You found something to go hunting. I like Jason's idea. Go door knock and find another one. Go get it. Go get a listing to sell them. I
Yeah,
like
it's a great
it.
idea.
That's a beautiful thought, right? Go work and get business. How that matters. So, what other wins or celebrations you want to talk about today, guys? Okay,
My
I
listing,
showed
you
I
got it.
showed property. Oh, sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Jason's mute.
Um,
Had to get
showed
you.
property yesterday, submitted an offer, looking to get it accepted this morning. And then I got a call from my YouTube channel yesterday, showed them property same day, and I had a BRBC sign, so that always makes me feel good. So
No,
busy day
that's
yesterday.
so nice to him. Bart.
Way to go, Femi. So, which video did they call you on? Do you know?
They called me on this video that I talked about rural areas in San Diego. Talked about like Dulcura area, Campo, Lakeside. A lot of people think that it's just city in San Diego, but there's a lot of like country if you're looking for more land or space for your animals.
Girl, you're growing. You're at 572 subscribers now.
Hmm.
Don't you get monetized at 1,000, right?
Yeah, my goal is to hit 1,800 before the end of the year.
All right.
So 3 videos a week.
3 videos a week.
Films, 2 posted is my goal.
I like it. I like it. Good stuff, girl. 500 views, 2,000 views. Don't know what it says, but it's something about California. That's all I know. Baile pene
You can-
compre in California.
You can hit the translate button and watch them.
I could,
I
but I'm not
think-
going to.
Yeah.
I'm already subscribing to you. So it's 573 now. There you go.
Thank you.
Guys, I'm all about supporting your success. Put it out there. Let me share it. The other day when I challenged you all to do it was 17 of you on the call, and I challenged you guys all to post. Do you see how many posts I saw that day? It was awesome. It was great seeing all the engagement. You know what I've seen since? Less than awesome. I've seen sadness. So, Fabby's got a schedule. Do you? She just told you she just got a call off. It got assigned by her broker yesterday. So clearly it's working. Other than Fabby, is anyone else working? Anyone else have something to win, celebrate? I mean, just it's like pulling teeth today, guys.
My Benzer came through and there's not a lot on it, so that's good. There's a plumbing issue, but my client's really willing to negotiate.
Okay.
I'm doing an event tomorrow, and I reached out to this person. I think I told you guys about it a few months ago, but I reached out to somebody who throws together an event. It's called Beach Movie Night, and it got really, really big in San Diego. And the person who started it actually lives in like the same town as me. And so we finally were able to get together like a couple weeks ago, and he said that I could kind of like set up a table at the event. He's been like slowly adding vendors like food trucks, and I think there was somebody like selling art there and stuff too last time I went. So that's kind of what made me think of it. And so I'm partnering with him, and I'm gonna hand out glow sticks. I got 2,500 glow sticks, and then I'm gonna have a table with just like add value stuff like seller and buyer guides. And then hopefully meet a lot of leads tomorrow. There, he said last time like 3,000 people came, so it's gonna be a lot.
There you go. That's a lot of opportunity, like real quick opportunity too. Community events, right?
Yeah,
So-
and it was kind of I tried to plan it like a long time ago, but I couldn't get a hold of him. And then literally like a week and a half ago, he gave me the go, and I'm like, oh my gosh, now I have to plan everything like last minute, but it worked out.
There you go.
It was a little stressful, and I'm hiring like a little like a personal assistant to help me because I don't want to be stressed out. But
I think stress is a good thing.
Pressure makes diamonds
And pancakes.
and pancakes.
So it's Tuesday, January 28th. We're sitting here together in a rare opportunity. And this is something that I think that we don't appreciate nearly at the level that we can. There are people on this call from 4 different states. Maybe if you include 5 with Jason's state of confusion. So we connect at a deep level every day on business, on success, on lifestyle, on mindset, on things that are going to help us become more successful. Why do you stay here? Why do you keep showing up? Not a rhetorical question. I want to hear.
Because it's on my calendar.
Okay. There's one. It's part of Jim's plan, right? He's kind of set.
Gives
It
me a
sets
lot
me
of
up
value.
for the morning for me.
Okay.
Like
Guys,
getting,
it sets off the morning for her.
mhm,
Jason,
A lot of value for me.
a lot of value.
yeah.
Where do you get the most value from?
Everything.
There's a
Everything.
connectivity thing.
Okay, Lydia,
And
there's connectivity here.
yeah, there's a lot of I mean, you get the best ideas when you've got a whole bunch of different people coming together to solve what somebody else may think is an unsolvable problem. And I think one, you put us in the mindset to do so, and then two, everybody else kind of follows through with their experiences, and that's just really important.
Do you guys know who Roger Bannister was? Robert Bannister.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Anyone ever heard of the 4 Minute Mile?
Yes.
Okay, tell me about it.
I think that they said that it couldn't be done.
Yeah. For all of recorded history, up until 1954, 71 years ago, people thought you couldn't run a 4 minute mile. Nobody did. Until one day, a man by the name of Roger Bannister did it. And what do you think happened the next year?
Somebody beat it.
Mhm.
Or matched it or something.
Yeah. 4 more people did it. Now, since Roger Bannister was the first person to ever run under a 4 minute mile, 3 minutes, 59 seconds and change, 4 more people the next year did it. Is it because Roger Bannister told them, you're faster than me, go out there and run it? Or was it because in that moment, those other people saw it as possible? And now limiting beliefs were removed. That's why we create this environment. I say we because I can't do it alone. I can sing up here, I can dance, I can do all the dancing monkey things possible, get you guys laughing, but I cannot bring in 4 different states of understanding. I can't bring in the hundreds of years of life experience that are on this call. I can't bring in stories that are outside of my sphere of influence because, well, I don't know about them. But the more I'm able to connect you with others like you and others that are doing more than you, the more I'm able to serve up these stories like the 4 minute mile. Now you know it's possible. You know it's possible to get a listing or a buyer or just leads from a YouTube channel that doesn't have thousands and thousands of subscribers. Not that 500 is any slouch, but we think we need to be massively impactful before we're actually successful in it. No, Fabi, I've heard of 3 different leads that she's gotten since I've known her in a short time from her YouTube channel. So that should empower some of you to know that it's possible here in this area. Leona, you and I talked about this, having a Korean channel. There's your model. 3 videos a day or a week, posting 2 of them, creating content. Now you know it's possible. All right. Getting a $3 million listing. Now you know it's possible. Considering yourself a new agent and still getting a high-level luxury listing. It's possible. I think we keep coming back because we're excited and addicted to the possibilities. The people on this call are those that are more successful than others. Right? You may not have done a deal yet. You may not have, gotten a commission check, but I guarantee you have grown. I guarantee you have learned, you have developed, you have created something that you would not have had otherwise by being exposed to a possibility, the reality of change. So how do we magnify that? How do we get more of it?
I think it's just consistently, well, these calls help me a lot. Showing up for like my tasks on my calendars help me a lot, and not being afraid of being consistent.
Okay. Not being afraid of being consistent. I like that.
By everybody participating and giving back.
That's a big one. Not that I'm going to shame like 13 of you, but I can't see your faces this morning.
It helped me by knowing what to say and knowing the confidence level when the opportunity arises.
Huh. Right?
Julie, I can hear you. Your screen is black.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you. Your screen was black. Can't see your face.
Me? Okay, I had like 3 wins this weekend, and I do want to share them, but now I got my daughter off to school.
That's okay.
My other daughter's in the hospital though,
That's
so that's
not okay.
not a win. But anyway, I had like 2 people that I kind of haven't really heard from over the holidays, and kind of thought that maybe I lost them. And our calls last week, I just decided to focus on. There was like 2 trainings I couldn't go to, and I just decided to focus on follow up. If I can't go to those trainings, I'm going to do follow up. And now I've got 2 people that are both. I got one of them talking to a lender last night, and the other one got pre-approved for like $35,000 more. So he's looking and corresponding with me, and I guess he had a hard time opening up my emails, so I sent him several in different ways and CC'd myself, so I knew exactly what he was seeing. And now we're like on the same page, and I'm doing an open house this weekend that's kind of on his price range and definitely area, so I'm going to invite him to that.
There you go. See, look, she got excited and started talking about something.
I also just had like my 53rd birthday just, a couple days ago. And I've just been really feeling really terrible for myself because, it's hard to be here in the morning. I require makeup to look nice, like I look like Sissy Spacek, I have no eyebrows or eyelashes, whatever. I used to look like this picture behind me. But, and then this weekend, I actually, it was right around my birthday, and I got carded by this lady. And she was like, "Oh, you're born in 1972 also." She's like, "Oh, we realized we were like 3 months away from each other." And you guys, like, I don't toot my own horn too much, but she looked like 20 years older than me. And we are 3 months apart. And I'm just saying that gave me so much perspective. Because I'm comparing myself to my 30-year-old self. And, we're in a different place now. My kids are grown now. So thanks so much for being here this morning, Dan, and every morning.
I'll be here as often as I can be. I won't be here tomorrow because Stone has a recital, a talent show. And when my little boy says, "Daddy, are you going to be there?"
What does he play?
No, I don't know what he's going to do. I have no idea. I have no idea what he's going to do for his talent. But here's the thing.
So cute.
We show up. How do we make this bigger and better? We show up. Not that we're just on the call. We don't check a box. We're not just sitting here with it in the background as we do dishes. We show up. We get active. We think about it. We invite others to be involved. The reason you're here is because somebody told you about it and you showed up and you got value and you stayed.
Joanne.
See, Joanne came from a group of other agents that were part of a coaching program I oversee. and she's one of the only ones that stayed. The funny thing to me is Joanne is also one of the only ones of that group who's doing business. Coincidence? I don't know.
Not.
I don't know. But Julie said something that made sense. Is I don't want you guys to compare yourselves. That's one thing in this call is I don't want you to compare. I don't want you to see Jim's success coming into this year with 9 listings as I'm failing because I don't have 9 listings. I want you to celebrate that for Jim. Good for you, man. Hell yeah. And then you want to ask Jim, why is it 12? You slouch. You're better than this. But sometimes we'll see that and we'll hear that. We're like, well, how can I compete? How can I add value? How can I add to the conversation when I don't have 9 listings? Well, you might have a different perspective. Just celebrating each other and being excited allows them to feel comfortable in the space and sharing. Collaboration is what successful people do, not competing. Yeah, there's a friendly competition here because I always want to be better than the next guy, right? There's that. I see it as iron sharpening iron.
Hey, John, I'm just here to drop off my lunch. I didn't want to sit in my car for 3 hours.
Don't. But what else can we do to amplify our abilities on this call? To magnify the intent, to create more impact in our worlds? It's one of my favorite words. Vulnerability.
One thing that's better now is like when I go to service places, like get my car fixed or, my dentist, I bring up the real estate conversation now. And it's been totally positive.
Right. She's being vulnerable by asking for business, right? Be vulnerable for the rejections. Be vulnerable on this call for being seen. Seen as in physically seeing you on camera because I like to see the head shakes and the head nods stuff. But being seen as being honest with yourself, right? If you're struggling or if you're stuck on something, don't think that your problem, your situation is not of value. Bring it up because someone else might. Your vulnerability will become a strength when you expose it. Do you believe me? So when we talk about things, I want you to get vulnerable. I want you to be exposed in reality. Because if we are super real about where we're at, and I mean like defined to the moment where we're at in life, it's a lot easier to get to where you want to go. When you are super, super certain where you're at, not lying to yourself saying, I'm prettier than I think I am. No, you know what? I'm just not doing it. I'm not doing my follow-up. I'm not doing my tasks. I'm just winging it through the day. I'm just phoning it in. I'm checking boxes. I'm not putting in my all there. I'm sailing through the day. I'm running at 40% because my 40% is probably better than 90% of your 100%. I want you to be vulnerable and saying, you know what? I'm not showing up in my truest and best self. And share that. And listen to that. And hear from that. And then heal from that. Because what would happen if you were truthfully honest with yourself? You found that sliver that was missing, and you take your mile from 5 minutes to 4 minutes. Not that anyone on this call, I think, could run a 5-minute mile, let alone a 4-minute mile.
7, maybe.
Ties like shit.
No cardio for me.
I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
Honestly, Ty, you're probably you and Gracie are the two that I think would
Yeah,
have
I
the
probably
most-
I probably could, but I wouldn't be like I'd be pretty freaking winded. Like it wouldn't be like a well-paced mile.
I cannot even run like half a mile, so that would not be me. But
Yeah.
if I'm gonna be honest, something that I'm struggling with, which maybe somebody could relate to, is I feel like I'm like full to the max, giving it my all. Like I am doing everything that I possibly could do. Like, yes, I do have the second job that I got, which is kind of hard to balance out, real estate, but I am honestly doing everything I need to. Like, I work my ass off, and sometimes it's hard to see. I know it's hard, and like, we shouldn't compare ourselves. And I don't compare myself in a jealousy way. I compare myself of like, I'm doing all the same things. I'm working my ass off. Why haven't I closed another deal yet? And it makes me feel really bad because like I know I have different expectations now, but when I got into real estate and I closed that deal in the first month, I was like, sweet, like I knew all this was gonna happen, thought I was gonna at least close another one in the next few months. And then now we're in January, like 8 months later, and I'm like, what is going on? So I don't know if anybody else is going through that, but it's hard to not get discouraged sometimes when it's like I am doing everything I could possibly do. Like I track KPIs, I meet up with my coach and say, okay, maybe it's the converting the client that's the part that I'm missing or whatever. And it's like people tell me, no, you did what you should have done. And then it's like, I don't know. I don't know why I haven't closed another deal yet. It's kind of.
Two things to that, Gracie. One, I want you to ask yourself, what am I doing that's not doing anything, and get rid of that. And secondly, what am I doing that I could do a lot more of? And the answer to most of our success problems is more. Talk to more people, get in front of more people, more open houses. Well, I do open houses every week. You're not doing the right ones. So go do open houses. They're going to put you in brackets of buyers, not just ego. Well, I'm doing all this other stuff. Okay, what one of those things are you doing that haven't gotten you anything? Red light, green light, your time, not just your budget, your time. What am I spending a ton of time on that hasn't gotten me diddlywinks? Cut it.
Isn't there a possibility that if she's doing the activities, it could be something she's not saying? It could be a scripting issue.
It could be a scripting issue, could be a conversion issue, it could be an intention issue, it could be a numbers issue without knowing. And that's what her coach's job is, to sit down and go through the KPIs and see what's missing.
Right.
I can tell you in those moments with just that little bit of information, is there's something we're doing that we shouldn't be. Because if we feel like we're doing it all and we're putting all of our efforts in there and we're not getting success, you're spinning your wheels, right? You're doing something that you shouldn't be doing.
Mm-hmm.
And to
Well, all
Dan's
the
point,
closest times that I've been to closing a deal, it's just chance, to be honest. It's just chance, and it's at my fingertips, and then something happens to where it's like, like the other day I got this guy pre-approved for $1.5 million, and we were about to write an offer, and then his old agent that was retired saw him in town literally the next day, and then he told me, he was like, oh, I couldn't help it, I showed him the property and I feel so loyal, and now I'm gonna use him, like things like that. And I'm just like,
Gracie, I'm so right there with you. I was I won awards back east in Virginia Beach. I have been licensed since 2007, and I won awards the last 5 years I was there. And then I moved back home. This is my hometown in San Diego. I'm second generation native. I have a huge family, huge, what you would think would be a network. And I sold one house last year. I'm so right there with you. And just like that, I had a client. He worked for AT&T, and he was going to buy a house here. I worked with him. He was one of my high school friends. And AT&T moved him to Georgia. So I still continued to work with him, showed how he should buy a house there, with how to use his 401k for his down payment, worked with him for 2 years by phone and appointments here in San Diego. He moves to Georgia and then calls the Zillow agent and works with a Zillow agent. And I've known
That's
this
a
guy for
scripting
30
issue.
years.
That's a
Can
scripting
I
issue.
use this moment to emphasize the importance of a buyer broker agreement?
Well, a buyer broker agreement doesn't have anything to do if they're in a different state.
It does. If you set the intention of they're working with you and through you with another agent, you can create that loyalty. Yeah, I get it in these situations, and we got to end here soon because we're running long, but we can continue this conversation tomorrow. That these are all scripting issues. These are all conversation issues by setting in the expectations of how you run business. I'm not going to do a bunch of work for you without the understanding and the commitment that we're working together. Now, Gracie's situation, she's got a guy that she's working with and talking to and has a good relationship she's starting with, and then he runs into his realtor. Well, if you would have showed enough value up front, that other realtor wouldn't have mattered. But you could also say, listen, I'm working for you. You're working with me. You can create that. And you said he was retired. The other realtor was retired.
Yeah, it's
Oh.
a long, it's really ridiculous, but yeah, I thought for sure, like I was about to send the agreement over to him because I at first didn't, it was kind of like I'm adding the value, I'm helping him get pre-approved type of situation. And then he did really quickly. And then he's like, no, I want to put an offer on the house. And then we were on the phone and I told him, okay, perfect. The next step is to formalize our working relationship. I'll send this agreement over, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, sounds good. And then he's like, but I actually, I did talk to this guy and he's going to represent me. So I think what I missed there, I think you're right. I think it's scripting because I thought that I made it clear that I wasn't the listing agent. And I think that's where the mix up was. Is
Yeah.
I think he didn't understand my part in the transaction. But
And
congrats to him. The deal just closed on that. His offer
no,
was
not
accepted,
congrats to
so-
him. Fuck that guy.
I knew that was coming.
But here's the thing, Gracie, you learn from it, right? Either we
Yeah.
win or we learn. It was a great lesson. Anthony, I know you got some good wisdom for us. Do you want to save it for tomorrow?
I was just going to ask, how long is your timeline for red light, green light, or for these people that were mentioning? One set a year, though, so that's understandable. What about Gracie?
So, if you're doing a red light, green light activity for what you're actually, you should do it once a quarter. You should look at your activities once a quarter. You should look at your finances at least once a quarter. If you do it monthly, it's probably better for you. You can get ahead of things faster. Your activities, if they're not bringing results, you won't know it for 90 days because nothing happens overnight. However, if you continue to do the same things and they don't get any activity, you're just doing it to feel good because you're checking a box, get rid of it.
Yeah, I think my biggest thing that I know that I've kind of discovered, I did that a little bit this week, honestly, and I do it all the time as a new agent. I'm so indecisive, like what's working for me, what's not working for me, what's the biggest thing I could focus on. That's why I track my KPIs. But what I've realized is I think what's happening to me is I'm not having the highest conversion rates of converting the client, getting them to sign the BRBC. Or
Asking for the business.
Asking for the business. So that's what I need to work on. And I don't want to take up too much time, but yeah, I'll talk to Seth, but that's just where my mind's been. And I didn't mean to make that sound depressing or anything, but sometimes I'm just
I want it to be depressing. I want it to be so painful for everyone on this call. You lost $1.5 million buyer because you failed to educate yourself at a high enough level to convert that client. I don't want it to be, he went with someone else or he chose another realtor, I want you to feel the pain. Every one of you listen to this as if it's your own client you lost because you failed. And I want that to be painful because we change from pain. Never want you to feel that again. Never want you to feel that again. And that's a good thing, because failure teaches us what didn't work. Either you win or you learn. And I want it to be sad. I want it to hurt your feelings, because I never want you guys to experience it again. So sharpen your skill sets, get to the conversation that's going to allow them to sign the agreement that you are going to represent them. I'm working for you. You're working with me. I do not do this for free. This is not a hobby. I am a professional. And sometimes these people don't realize that because they just see a pretty face. It's a realtor. So I'm working for you. You're working with me.